Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we have a very good prompt for you guys called maximum points you can obtain from cards. So this is a classic one, right? So make sure you pay close attention to the prompt statement, right? So we're given a card, right, arranged in a row, and each card has an associated number of points, right? So the number of the points are given in the integer array card points. In one step, you can take one card from the beginning or from the end. You have to take exactly K cards. Okay, interesting. So your score is the sum of the points of the cards, right, you have taken. Okay, so given the integer array card points, right, integer K, return the maximum score you can obtain. Very interesting, guy. This is a very good problem. I like it a lot. It makes you think a lot, which is good because we love to think, right? We're thinkers here on this channel, right? So this example, right? We're given like a bunch of numbers, right? You can see in this integer K, we need so pretty much telling us to choose three different index, right? Three different cards that can give us the maximum, right? Uh, thing, right? And so they're not, you can't jump around 2, 5, 6, right, to get a maximum. None of that, right? They have to be right next to each other, right? Uh, yeah, so it needs to be some sort of, yeah, they need to be adjacent. So either like, you can do pretty much 2, 1, 1, right? But you have to be continuous pretty much, right? You could wrap around the array, right? So 2, 1, come back on the other side, or, you could look at it this way, 6, 1, come back on the other side as well, right? And get cards, right? So things like that can't work, right? But, they can't skip, right? Okay. So after the first step, right, your score will always be 1, right? Okay, however, choosing the rightmost first card, right? But however, okay, so the optimal strategy is to take 3 cards on the right, which is 5, 6, 1, right? So this is what will give us the better, right? You know what I'm saying? All right. So yeah, so instead of choosing like this way, they choose this one, right? So you see the combination that yields the maximum number of points, right? Because we're allowed to have that, right? So once they can choose to card from the beginning or from the end of the row, right? Okay. Yeah. So the pretty much saying we can have things. So 3 cards, we can have two cards from the front and one from the back. 2 cards from the back, one from the front, right? Different ways, right? Or all 3 here, right? All 3 there, right? You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of the thing I can think of right at the top of my head, right? I could choose real quick. So 2, right? I can choose those 2 from front, or those 2 from this, or I can choose one from here, one from this, right? So it's kind of the different combination I can think of that we can have, right? It would always be 4 no matter which way you want to go, right? It goes 2 from the back, 2 from the front, one from the front, one from the back, yields the same result, right? So K equals 7, kind of the same thing, right? So you have to take all the cards, score is the sum of the points of all the cards, right? So 7, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So pretty much the whole thing, and it equates to 55 points, guys, right? So that's kind of what it is. So now that we understand the ask, right, let's kind of see how can we go ahead and solve it, right? Because that's the important thing here, okay? So what I'm thinking here, right? I pretty much kind of explain, like, just like we see that you're doing it, we could do it like that, right? So okay, so I can just try those combinations, right? Try taking, okay, the first 3, right? Okay, index 0, 1, 2, and then take this. But how do we do it dynamically, right? Because K can be, not 3 for this example, right? It could be many different 3s, right? We need a way to do it dynamically, right? And that's kind of what we're gonna do, right? To solve it, right? So what did we say, right? We want to try the different combinations of available, right? And they're kind of limited in the number of things that we can have, right? Okay. So what I can think of, right? You can choose 3, right? Get the maximum points, right? And then try a different combination, right? For example, right? So I try the first 3, I see how many points I get. Okay. 3 plus 2 plus, what I'm saying, 6. That's fine. Okay. Now what's left for us to, what other combinations can I have, right? Well, I can have 2 from the front and 1 from the back. Okay. That's fair. I can have 1 from the front and 2 from the back, right? Or I can choose nothing from the front and choose everything from the back, right? And that's pretty much it, right? There's nothing more that we can actually do, right? And that's that. And by doing these, right, we can, pretty much solve it, right? So this is exactly what we're gonna do, guys, right? So we're gonna start off by taking all three cards from the front, right? So once we have that, we try the different scenarios, right? Because in every way, step by step, right? So okay, cool. Since we got three, so we capture that. So now I take one less card from the front, right? Because I can't do those two, three, right? And then one, right? It have to be continuous, guys, right? Right? So that's how it is. So that's how you can kind of understand now. It kind of helps you see that it's sort of a sliding window, right? That's kind of of a fixed size, right? That can wrap around the array in a way, right? Come back on the other side, and things like that, right? So that's kind of exactly what we're gonna do. So initially the array will be there, right? And so we would capture that, and then once we are taking, since we're taking one less character from the front, right? So now the subarray is here, so I'm allowed to take one from the back, right? And that's exactly what we're gonna do. So let's go. I think the code will make it a lot better, right? So you guys can understand real quick. Okay, so what did I say we're gonna do? We're gonna have int so max front, right? Is equal to 0 initially, or amount from front, right? That's what I meant to do. Let's go to 0, and we're gonna have also an amount from back. All right. Okay. So what we're gonna do, like I said initially, we're going to capture, right? So we're gonna need a max variable to keep track of the max we've encountered at any given point, right? So we're gonna do int I is equal to 0, I is less than k, I plus plus, right? So now I'm going all the way to, I'm going to 0, 1, 2, right? So I'm gonna stop here, right? Because 2 is less than 3, so we stop there, right? So as we're doing that, right, we're going to increment we can add it to the value to the maximum, right, which is the amount from the front, right, which is I'm tripping, the maximum from the front, which is like the alphabet. So card points, there it is, card points right there, right? And then it's of I, right? So we get the amount from the front, right? We get 1, 2, 3, all right, bam, we're in good shape. So now what we're gonna do, right, is to be a little bit clever, right? So from an I is equal to 1, right? And then I is less than or equal to k, right? I plus plus, right? So I'm doing this, right? So that, I can, take things from the, remove things from the beginning and take things from the front, right? So I'm gonna show you guys how it's gonna work out, right? So pretty much I can, choose 1, right, from the back all the way up to k from the back, right? Because that's the maximum that I can choose, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing here. Okay. Yeah. So this is why I'm doing that, right? So these are the amount of things that we can take from the back. Since we've already, taken all the stuff, try the scenario where we take everything from the front, right? And we're gonna also store it, right, in our max amount from front, right? I pretty much set it to amount from front, right? I don't know what I was doing, right? So pretty much all we know the amount from front, right? Okay, all right. So now what we're gonna do is to start taking things from the back, right? So what we're gonna do is to do amount from back, right? Right. So we're gonna take one at a time, right? As we take one less from the front, we take one more from the back, right? And that's how we're gonna simulate that and doing it step by step, right? So that we can get the maximum. We can capture what in all those different combinations, right? The maximum one, right? So amount from the back. So what are we gonna take? Right? We're gonna take card points, right? Which is card points, that length, right? which is carb points minus that length minus I, right? So initially it's 1, so it takes 1 from the back, right? Okay. So now since I'm taking 1 from the back, I'm going to take 1 less from the front, right? Which is subtracting, right? So, right? So it's as you could tell, right? So it's his length. So it's his, cut that length, right? So -1 is this, -2 is this, -3 is that, right? So that's how we're dynamically doing that, guys, right? So that's kind of what I want to make it clear for you guys, all right? So the amount from the front, right, that I'm taking here is I'm subtracting 1 less, right? So now we said that we had stopped at this one, right? So since we're getting 1 less, right? So k minus 1, right? So whatever that value is, which is index 2, right? So we subtract 3 from the front, right? So now the amount from the front is, so it was initially 6, right? So we do 6 minus 3 gives us 3. So we're only left with 3 from the front, right? And then we get 1 from the back, which is we're adding to this, right? So we get those two things and we go ahead and add it to our max, guys, right? Is it greater than our current max or the addition of those two things, right? Amount from front and amount from the back. Okay. Trying to do some combination, right? And then after that, guys, we just return the max that we encounter at any given point, right? Yeah, it's as simple as that, guys, right? We keep doing that, and I think there's something off here a little bit, right? K minus 1. I don't think that makes sense at all, actually, because it would stay at 2, right? So what do we need to do is to do k minus I, right? Exactly. So it's k minus I. So initially it's 1, right? So it takes this one, which is index 2, right? And then once it becomes 2, right, it also removes, all right? So because k minus 2 is 1, so it removes this one, right? So that's kind of how we this, right? So yeah, this is how we can dynamically do it, guys, right? Okay. So let's press run code, man. See if we pass the small test case. All right, looks good. Let's press submit. See if we pass all these test cases. Awesome, we got to go over pass all these test cases, guys. You guys understood the thought process. It made sense for you guys, right? Let me know in the comment section. If you're new here, subscribe because we'll be doing a lot of other videos just like this. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next.